Hi Sana. Hi Namita. Okay, let's try this one more time. Hopefully it will work now. Hi Sakshi. Thank you for joining. Hi Samriddhi.
Hi, Manali.
Yes.
Finally, I found that live video option and I started a live video, sent you a request, and then I got your message that yours is sorted now.
Yes, yes. I think there was a problem with my app version. I
Yeah.
updated it from
Okay.
Google. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
we are.
probably. Hi. It has been quite a long delay, so apologies from my end
Yes.
also because I don't know how to use the live option. I should ideally learn all these things, but maybe next time it will be more smooth and not this uh,
It's
confusion. Yeah,
okay. We both
yeah.
learned something new. I realized that my app was not updated. You learned how to
Okay.
go live.
And I learn, yeah. Probably somewhere, someplace I'll go live randomly.
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
before we begin the session, let me just, sorry everyone for the little delay. And we had a slight glitch, but we are now live with today's guest. And today's guest is Namita Ahluwalia. So, Namita, tell us about yourself.
So, like it's also mentioned in my bio, for whoever has read my book, A Girl on the Run, I am a corporate job slave and doing this 9 to 5 rut, I was hardly getting any time to pursue my passion to write a story because, like, since the time I can remember, I wanted to be a storyteller, write stories. I used to write poems and all in my college and but then I could never pursue it. Obviously, you also know how life happens, and then you are stuck with things, doing things which you have to do. So finally, there was a silver line in my story when the lockdown started, and obviously I was managing home, my little daughter, and doing everything hands on. And but finally, I got the time to retrospect and think that why I came into writing. I like my corporate job is also about writing. It's more about corporate communication, white papers, PPTs,
Hmm.
and everything. So it finally gave me that time to think, ponder upon, and I decided that I will start to write a story and I'll publish it soon. And I think with the Kindle pen to publish contest, I think that was like the final nudge to just get there, start writing, finish that story, and press that publish button. So I think that Kindle pen to publish really motivated me. It was a deadline based project. I later got reviews first from some people that your book had something that needs to be improved, some errors. But then, obviously, that is not a I cannot say it on the pen to publish contest that because of it I published in a hurry. But then I wanted to be part of it. It was kind of a motivation for me that deadline of 10th March. So I published on 6th March. So I and this is not the first novel that I was writing. The first one was a different one, which is yet in my laptop and under the dust, and I've yet not started working on it with the demanding job and household responsibilities. But yes, I plan to publish that hopefully traditionally because uh, self-publishing has its own pros and cons. So
True,
I
true.
plan to publish my first book, which is more of a memoir kind of a thing, and hopefully, let's hope my fingers are
Yeah.
crossed. Yeah,
Okay, so yes, that was very interesting to tell about yourself. And yes, since you already mentioned that you are looking for working on your next novel, so we already
yeah.
know we can expect something new from you, hopefully soon. Soon.
Yeah. A glimpse of it is already there in my first novel, A Girl on the Run. So when you read about the story of Anaya and Arjun, which the protagonist and the lead pair are talking about, Sid has already published and became a bestseller on that story. The same story I was writing before starting this novel. So,
Oh, okay.
so
It's like a prequel to this.
not a prequel, it's a separate story altogether. And yes, the lead characters were Anaya and Arjun, and that was one of the reasons why Meera decided to keep her name as Anaya because she was reading that novel and she fell in love with those characters. So this is like
Okay.
one of the gist is already there. Probably I'll hopefully get more into it and like obviously it gives a break from writing the mundane stuff in the job.
Yes.
But obviously I love my job. If my manager is here, she should know I love my job. and we all have some passions which we have to pursue post our responsibilities. So I think this was a new thing for me, and it helped me like break free from it and come out and let the world know that yeah, this is what I want to pursue, and I've taken my first step towards it. So yes, it
Okay,
really helped.
that's great, Namita. So, as I was saying, I have read your book and I really enjoyed it. And certain aspects of it are, it made me think about how I can change my writing or how I can learn something new in my writing, whatever I am doing. So, based on that, I have a few questions for you, which will
Yeah.
help me and whoever is listening to us right now. Are
Okay.
you ready to answer?
Yes. Yes. Always ready.
So, I was mentioning in my earlier intro also that the lead character of the book is someone who's very confused. Like, she's like trying to figure out what she wants to do in life. And
Yes.
I have never written about a lead character like that. So, can you
Uh,
tell us how we can go about writing such a character?
See, to me, Meera was not actually a confused character. Whenever I start writing about somebody, one thing that I have to really make sure is that the character has some want, some need.
Hmm.
For instance, Meera here, she has a need to escape her present and make a new future. So when I started writing this novel, Meera was like any you or me or anybody who is in their mid 20s or early 20s, not figuring what to do in life and getting a lot of gyan from everybody. You should do this, you should pursue this and that. So for me, Meera was not actually a confused character, but a character who doesn't know what to do with her life.
Hmm.
Because being from the privileged background, she never actually had to struggle. Everything was given to her by her father and everything was taken care of. She was growing in her own cocoon kind of a thing. So
Hmm.
to break free from that, because now she has learned that it is difficult, I cannot go on like that. My father is no more and there is nobody to fall back on. So she
Hmm.
has to find a plan for it. And although she is flawed, she's bold and confident, but she doesn't have any real skill to save herself, to live independently. So there are always, I think, a character should have a flaw and a need together.
Hmm.
Then we can create a character sketch which will relate to the people, because most of us are flawed. We have some or the other flaw in us, and that
Correct.
makes our story more interesting and more relatable. Like how an individual, Meera would be you or me. Me as a 20-year-old, not understanding what to do with life, and then suddenly finding herself on the path, crossway to make a decision to stay in the comfort zone or to come out of the comfort zone. So, as you and also me who are publishing books online, self publishing, so we are actually breaking that barrier. We are coming out of our comfort zones and trying to make a presence in a crowd. There is a huge crowd and competition. So, I think in a way, Mira's journey is a journey of self-discovery, which all we all take. Probably we don't talk about it that much, but her journey is about finding a purpose in life, finding what she wants to do, how to survive, how to live independently.
Hmm.
So and gain monetary freedom, which most of us in our youth try to do. Gain that monetary freedom and somehow get involved in some job or start our own business. So like
Correct.
your character Aisha was very confident, brave, bold, and she knew what she has to do in life. This course and then later that. But you will find very few people, and obviously there are people like that. It all depends on the upbringing. But a majority of us are clueless what we have to do.
Definitely.
So
Yes.
I think Meera's journey is a self-discovery. We all have done that journey. We might have not left our comfort of home and gone and charted the new territories, but we all have in some way embarked on this self journey, so self-discovery journey. So I think
Yes.
Meera is
So,
not a confused
yeah.
character. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Probably confused is a negative term to use, but she's someone who's on a trying to figure out life. That's
Yes,
also what I
yes.
said in
Trying to
my
figure out
intro.
life. Yeah,
She's trying to figure herself out, and
yeah,
very interesting what you said. Somebody who has a flaw and somebody who also has a want. So that's the
yes,
kind of character we should write. Thanks for the
yes,
great.
yeah,
Okay, so I also noticed that you also mentioned that your next novel is going to be based on one of the things which is mentioned in this current. So
yes,
we talked about a writer. Yeah,
yes,
so one of the lead characters is a writer, and it is very interesting for me to read about writing in a book which is fiction. So how
It's
can one
like
go
an
about
inception, like it's
writing? Yeah,
planting a seed over there and it's an inception and it will grow someday. And you will already have readers who have read the first book and would relate to the pair that I was discussing in that book.
yes.
So,
So
yes.
that's also my next question. How can one go about writing about a protagonist who is, very similar to your field of work?
Yeah, so the thing is, I think I am Sid, or perhaps you are Sid, or any aspiring author is a Sid. Because, but the only difference is since he has already had a bestseller on his record, he has that luxury, the privilege to break all the ties and go on some hill station and just like do writing. Like we might have, and you might have heard in your while you read books like how Ruskin Bond stays in a, and he's born and brought up there, so he stays in
Yeah.
that backdrop and he writes book and he cuts off from the world to do it. So there are many authors who do that. So taking clue from that, and I wanted to include his struggle also because just getting a bestseller is not enough now because you have to
Right.
continue. Your progress has to go high with each novel or each piece you write.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's struggling for the next big break. I think we all have crossed the first hurdle, which is like getting in the publishing industry and self-publishing our books and giving ourselves out there in the world. So now the next struggle for is to find that big break. So Sid for me is more relatable character. He has already tasted success and he wants to go ride high on that success, and he's also introvert at the same time. Like I guess I am also an introvert person. I don't like much of speaking. Like I can easily tell you about my emotions through my words than speaking. So a lot of thoughts, that chatter, which you have clearly shown so beautifully in your book, that mind chatter, which is appearing every few stanzas. I think that is really good that you have done, which is something different.
Thank
You
you.
don't read it very often, and that mind chatter is really it makes or breaks you. Your mind has to push you to do something, or else life become mundane.
Yeah, yes, yes, very true. My next question is, since we are already talking about writing so much, and today, as you also mentioned earlier, there are so many writers, so many indie writers who are upcoming and who are
So
really successful. So, in today's scenario, what do you feel is the biggest challenge for a writer and how to overcome?
see, I think, and you would also agree with me, getting discovered is the biggest challenge. Like, there is a platform called Kindle, and it's a great platform. I have all the praises for it. But then a lot of authors are publishing on it. Some are really good. And I think getting discovered, like, it's like a haystack and it's a needle. Getting
Hmm.
discovered in that whole pond of books is really difficult. Like, I used to think writing is the difficult part, but after doing that, I think selling the book, making it, getting the visibility, I think
True, true.
that is
Yeah.
the biggest challenge than writing actually. Writing you can finish in 6 months, 1 year, how much ever sweet time you take to do it. But selling is like a constant work. You have to every day keep on pushing your book, and then there are many people who are out there who take advantage also. Like they'll come that I'll review your book on Falana Dhimkana, 6 other places, and you pay me. So I am
Yes.
actually totally against paying somebody to read my book because then I think it belittles my craft also. If
Hmm.
I'm not sure enough that people are gonna read it, so I'm paying somebody to read it and review. Probably you might have a
Correct.
different view about it. I'm not sure.
No.
Uh,
So, I am of the similar belief that why pay someone to read my book?
yes,
But also having said that, the kind of effort that goes into the
yes,
reviews is
yes, reviewing, yes. So,
completely different.
yeah,
Nobody, whoever or however good the reviewer is, they cannot
yeah,
guarantee a sale on your book once they have reviewed
yes,
it.
yes.
So,
Nobody can
yeah.
do that. Yeah.
So,
So yes, it's okay to take chances, test the waters, and see if that helps. But ultimately, I think you have to be like come out of your this comfort zone and just bring your book out there, post it regularly. I am not very good at it, so even posting that one social media post that I have written this book and please read or else grab your copy. It took me a lot to think, but then after publishing on Kindle, after pressing that publish button, I was like clueless. Now what? It's out there. Now what? What has to be done? So obviously the next step was spreading across your social media profile. So I did that. I did share it. I had shared a very long post, very emotional post, that how I actually embarked on the journey and how elated I am that I took this step. I took the plunge after so long, after thinking for like 30 odd years. So that was really emotional for me to share on social media, but I'm not the one who would keep on doing that again and again. Once, twice I've done it. So obviously, I think getting discovered is the biggest challenge. Second is obviously getting a publishing deal. Like there are many publishing houses and there are several authors, several aspiring. I will not call myself an author yet because I think a journey has just started. A lot. There's a lot to achieve, but then I think getting the deal, a publishing deal, a good publishing house backing my story, backing my book, guiding me through the editing process, and spreading the word out, getting my physical book in the stores. I think that is like a big challenge, and competition is too. It's really beyond measurable. Actually, it's limitless. Even a 14-year-old today is publishing a book. Even a 75-year-old is publishing a book, and the varied genres and everything, and especially the YA fiction romance genre. I think it's crowded, and there are really good authors who have established themselves through the self-publishing domain. I'm in touch with one or two of them through Instagram. So obviously, they pursued it years together and got through that stage that they get pre-orders for their book. So
Hmm.
I think the journey is long and it has just begun. So I think the biggest competition is getting discovered, biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's I something I can, vouch for too.
And when I
Yeah,
see that your novel has got 57 and above reviews, it makes me happy that a debut author has actually reached that stage. And
so,
today
yeah,
only
since
I read
because
your
you
post.
mentioned, yeah, I regularly post about it. That's one thing that
So
which
I
has
have to start
uh,
doing that now. Yeah.
yeah,
And I
that's
also
one
read
thing
that
which has
how reviews
converted to
are
me.
important. Just before starting
Yes.
this live, I saw your post how reviews are important, and just it is I liked it is enough. So many of my friends did buy the book, and I later went and asked them, why, when will you review? I asked them twice, thrice, and then after a while, you feel that it's not worth. People are gonna review it. So it takes time. I think it's just out there, and it's just 2-3 months. It will take time. The word will spread, and I think we can stay positive. That's it.
Yeah. Since we are talking about reviews, I also want to tell you that there are many reviewers out there who do it without charging for the review. The only
I
thing
think
they
you should
ask is
share the list
for your
with me
review
as
copy.
soon as we end this live call, and you should share the list with me. I'm giving everybody a copy.
Yeah, and about the paid reviews, see, my view is that as long as you are doing it honestly, I don't mind. Just because I am paying you, don't tell me that my book is good. Be honest with me. I can take critical feedback. I will pay you for your efforts. I don't mind that. But
Yeah,
having said that, for this book, I have not paid anybody so far, and that's like a huge achievement for me.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My next question to you is, since we are talking about reviews now, let's focus on that. How can you deal with negative feedback? What's your coping mechanism?
So fortunately, like I have not got much of a negative feedback per se, but yes, I have got constructive criticism. I'll name it constructive criticism because it is more of a positive term and it helps me better my craft rather than discouraging me to go ahead and pursue. So I think I've got constructive criticism. Even you shared some of it. There are many reviewers who have shared it, and I'm just noting it down, making a mental note that what I need to improve going
Hmm.
further, and how that rush to publish is not actually gonna help, and how like if I write the same novel maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, it would have a different ending. It would have a
Hmm.
different take on it. So I
Correct.
think with each book we go, it's a process we will learn. And if you think about negative reviews, even Harry Potter, or for that matter, Twilight series, or even Ruskin Bond, all big authors, famous authors who have bestsellers to their name, they receive negative feedback, and that never stops them. And there are lakhs and millions of people reading them every day. So I think negative feedback, it is actually a kind of a way to tell you that you should work hard, improve your craft, and also it should not discourage you. I think you should take it in a positive manner that
Hmm.
something was pointed and it makes sense to you, and you should work towards
Correct.
improving it and bettering your craft. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So
That
like
brings
I
me to my
constantly take a
yeah.
few courses online, read about it. What like you have written your book in a third person point of view, but for each individual, each lead character of your story. Usually, when I read each character story, it is first point of view, like
Hmm.
how Preeti Shenoy writes it,
Yes.
and there are many other authors who write it. I write a third point of view overall, so there is no one chapter for one protagonist. So there are many such things that we are not yet aware of, and we need to improve and we need to learn so that we come out with the next novel which is much way higher than what we have achieved with this one.
Hmm.
So I think bettering your craft will also help to deal with that negative feedback will push you to learn more, read about it more, understand the plot structure. It's a plot structure or a 5-part plot structure. So there are several things, and I think after publishing this novel, I started to read about it only after publishing. Before that, I was not very aware about it. But then I started to read about it that not all plots have 3-part structure. Some have 5-part structure, and it is more useful. Like it's like more used in nowadays novel structure. So I think it helps improve the craft. All the feedback. If you are getting feedback, touch wood that you are getting feedback that people are reading your book and they have taken the time out to tell you that you could improve in this. So I think, and if somebody is writing hate comments or anything, you just ignore it. Don't let it reach your mind
Correct.
because mind is the biggest machine that can destroy you. So just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yes, very true. That brings me to my last question, which is, in my opinion, it is the most important question as a writer for me. So, what do you think is more important for a writer, the satisfaction of writing or the satisfaction that your writing brings to a reader?
See, I think one should write what they love to read. Like for me, I am a sucker for romance and everything hunky dory. But obviously, novels should have a graph of high and low. So whatever I write, I when I read it, if I feel good about reading it, and this is exactly the stuff that I want to read, then it gives me a certain excitement that I have cracked the plot and the story. I've reached to a point where I'm writing something that other people would also like to read.
Hmm.
So I think you should write what you would want to read, and that will put you in, take you from the writer's shoes to a reader's shoe,
Hmm.
and you can judge your story from the perspective. And obviously, you give a break once you write your novel. Don't just start editing it, publishing it. I think let it stay there in the folder, lying there for a few. I think my book was lying there for 3 months. And the first draft was less than 10,000 words. I wanted to participate in the short story novel. So I was aiming for 10,000 words. But then when I read it, I didn't find it connected. I find it lacked emotions. So I started rewriting it again. And then it was about close to 25,000 what I have written now. So I think it is important that you write what you want to read as a reader. So,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, that's
editing,
a great tip. Yeah.
proofreading, and there are a lot many free tools out which you can help to edit. Like
Hmm.
if given my example, I never shared my draft even with my twin sister. So she knew I was writing. I used to tell her I'm so pissed. I have so much of office work. They asked me to do on Saturday also, so I cannot write. I'm coming to the deadline. There's so much to be done, and but she never pushed me to share the work. I never shared it with her because I was somewhere not sure I would send my work out there, publish it. And then after I published it, my brother, my sister, my mom is not much of a reader. They read the book, they shared their words of wisdom, and my brother could share some things with me. He reads, he's like a prolific reader. He reads like several genres. So he shared what all could have improved, which part should I have developed more. So that gave me also a certain bank to fall upon for my next novel. So I know, like, if
Hmm.
I'm writing something, I think I can come to Manali. I can share her my few chapters and get a review. How is it? Am I going in the right direction? I can share it with my brother, my twin sister, and probably improve it, better it before pressing that publishing button.
Correct.
But
Correct.
however my novel has turned out and the kind of encouragement that I have received is like I have never imagined. I used to think people would say probably nasty stuff. I was not very sure that I would get the kind of reviews that I'm getting, that the story is fresh, the narrative is lucid, and the way it is treated is very, the mystery in it is gripping, and how they all are finishing the novel in like 1 hour's time. It's a novella, it's not a novel also. So I think that encouraged me more to write. So, yeah.
That's the biggest motivation for a writer, like the
Yeah.
feedback of the readers. Yeah. So with that, I come to the end of my questions for you. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer now.
Yeah, I have really I have a few questions. I always wanted to get in touch with an author and ask them. Like for me, the biggest motivation was for writing was in my childhood when I was reading Mills and Boons and visualizing everything and imagining myself as the lead character and writing. That motivated me to just pick up the pen and write my stories. So, what was your motivation? Like, how did you get into writing?
So my journey with writing has been a really long one. I started writing since I was a teenager, and it actually began with poetry. I was never into fiction writing. I was never into short stories or even novels. I never
Right.
thought I would be doing this someday
Yes.
for a living. I mean, I would be doing it, that was out of passion, but I would be doing it for a living was completely out of the picture.
It's great if you could get a living out of this, because at this point, I think break even is also difficult. If you're spending and hiring services for cover and all that, I think in your initial books, it's very difficult to reach a break even also. If you could make a living out of it, it's really commendable.
Thank you. But that's because it's not only about book writing. I also do editing. I also do book reviewing. I also do
Okay.
blogging.
Yeah.
That's how I am able to make a living out of writing. But
Yes.
having said that, not my first book. My fourth book. That's also the reason
Okay.
I'm able to earn a certain amount which can help pay certain bills.
Okay. Okay.
So I think my biggest motivation as a writer was my love for reading. I really like, I think I started reading at the age of 8 or 9. I have never stopped reading a book. I will go and read. I will not see ever.
So, may I ask who is your favorite author, especially an Indian author?
Oh, Indian author. Very tricky question. Salman Rushdie, Arundhati Roy, Ruskin Bond, uh, Shashi
I think
Tharoor.
we all are Ruskin Bond fans.
I mean, my childhood would have been incomplete without his books, I think.
Yes, yes. That
Yeah,
small
so
village charm that he brings in his narrative, it's like
I
something to
I
fall in
think
love with.
my love for mountains comes from Ruskin Bond.
Yes.
I completely get
For me, I think I have been to Missouri twice or thrice, so I have actually that place really resonated with me. Someday, if I retire and plan to settle somewhere, it would be Missouri, because it's very close to city and it gives you the hill
uh,
vibe. So I'm
correct.
actually deeply in love with that place. And
Yeah,
second, Goa.
so you have written about both the places in your book, so I can see that love
Actually,
in
just like
the
you
story.
mentioned, you are into blogging. I am a travel blogger too. I have my bestofindiatravels.com, so I
Oh,
update that frequently. Wherever I go, mostly India, I update that blog and give my first-hand experience. So blogging is something I think we all writers start with at a very young age, and then it stays with us.
yes.
Yeah. So my
Yeah, so
second
I think
question,
for
yeah.
any reader, writer, reading should be the biggest motivation.
Reading, yes, yes. Reading has to be. It should be like your everyday diet. It's like
Yes.
food for your brain. So reading is really important. Yes. So see, hypothetically, if you would want your book to be published through a big publisher or anybody, who would you want to back your book?
So I actually recently had, fortunately, I connected with Rupa, and one of my books actually reached to the final stages of publication through them.
Okay.
Unfortunately, after reading the full draft, they decided not to go ahead with it. But
Okay.
seeing their, responsiveness and positive feedback, I would say if I'm going with an Indian publisher, I would want Rupa.
Rupa. Okay.
Yeah.
I
They're
think
very forthcoming.
when doing my research for the book, I always search for the genre, and I found Srishti Publishers to be like leading up there, and so I probably I would want them to publish my book. But let's see and hope, and you get Rupa and I get Srishti someday. And
Yes.
my next question is: have you come across any annoying reviews? Like you have written more than one book so far. Like I've just written one, so I've not received annoying reviews. Obviously, constructive criticism. But have you come across some annoying review?
I am not going to say about reviews because they are always constructive. They have their own point of views about our writing, and it's
Yes.
always good to know what they think about us.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the one definite thing that I have observed, with particularly this book, is that whenever I am talking about it, or whenever I'm saying, there is at least one person who will say that because it has three main characters, it is a love triangle related to a particular very popular book. And
Okay.
it annoys me that they assume that it is without giving it that
Your voice is breaking, Manali.
Hello, is it okay
Yeah,
now?
your
Hello.
voice was breaking. Yeah, yeah. We couldn't
Yes.
get that answer completely. Can you
Yes.
elaborate? Yeah.
Yes. So I was saying whenever I talk about my book, on social media, I'm sharing something, or whenever
Yeah.
I'm telling a new person about it, they immediately compare it with a popular movie or a popular book, which
Okay.
has
Yeah.
seen there is a
Huh. Huh.
and it
Okay.
annoys me because they assume it is of the same
Yes.
genre,
Cut. Yeah.
same
Yeah.
plot line related
Yes.
to those. In fact, it is anything but that. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a
Yes, I've
little
read your book, and I think it was not following a certain. I think some blueprint it wasn't following. It was something new, and I think I really enjoyed like being from the part of the city which you have described in your book, spending like my college years over there. I found myself walking down that garden so many times and eating from the food joints that you have mentioned. So I think the kind of nostalgia that it brings, it's really good. The mind chatter that it brings, it's really commendable. The initial quotes that you put is really wonderful. So I think
Thank you.
a certain maturity I can see in your writing, the way you have structured your book, and I think I also plan to reach that stage and someday, because obviously raw, whenever there is a debut book, it comes out a little raw, but then as you progress, your that
Yes.
rawness is replaced with
Yes.
more maturity. Yeah. So coming to my next question, if at all you try, if you want to publish a book in some other genre, not the YA fantasy, what would you be more open and willing to take chance with? Which
I
genre?
am really toying with the idea of writing a murder mystery because it's very fascinating for me how one can go about it.
Yes. Murder mystery. I think we all have read a few murder mysteries, Sydney Sheldon, and we all have some murder mystery, and we all
There is
like
a
reading it
certain
also.
fascination
Uh,
around murder mysteries, I believe.
to me, I think I can explore the comedy genre because I like
Hmm.
that. I like to write something which is comical, and I don't know how comical it would come across, but that idea really interests me.
Nice.
And when you were self-publishing, all your books are self-published.
No, actually, two of my books are traditionally published.
Traditionally.
The third book, I published it on KDP, and then it got picked for the traditional publishing for a paperback. And this one
Okay.
is so far is self-published.
Okay. So did you follow some process? Like how did you go about it? Like the draft is done, it's in your Word format, the editing is done. So do you go to somebody for a review? What is like process when you complete your draft?
So with the first book, as you mentioned, we are all, we all make mistakes with our first books. So I
Yes.
made the mistake of just sending the raw draft to the publisher. Luckily, they liked it, and there were just a few editing suggestions provided by them, and then it was published. With the
Yes.
second book, it didn't require much editing because it was a collection of micro tales, and micro tales में क्या ही edit कर लोगे तुम, because it's
Ah,
anyway 4 to 5 sentences.
yes.
So yeah, that happened very quickly. I had few people in my circle who acted as my beta readers with the second book, and they gave me feedback. They gave me suggestions on what kind of micro tales I can add more. So that also happened. At that time, I approached all the publishers I could come across, and obviously I approached the big five also, and they rejected it. But luckily, I found myself a traditional publisher who was willing to go ahead with it. They liked my work. And for my third book also, they picked it up, the paperback format. The uh, Kindle was self-published. For the paperback, they agreed to go ahead with the traditional deal. And they were the same publishers who did my second book. So I think having a good rapport with your publisher also helps for your coming projects.
Yes. So, like, once your draft is done, who is that first person you go to for that first face off? Like, how is it?
With this book, actually, I had beta readers who were working along with me. As soon as I finished one chapter, I sent it to them. They read it and gave me the feedback. And
Yeah.
as soon as they suggested the changes, as soon as they, had the opinion that certain things need to be changed in that chapter, I
Yes.
did it immediately. So
Okay.
that kind of, I think, understanding of it comes
Yeah.
with the
After a while. Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Yes. And the editing process, like, you follow some editing process or you do it
Yes.
yourself?
I I I rely on my beta readers. They
Yes.
usually point out the mistakes
Okay.
too, so I can rely
Yeah.
on them.
Ah.
And myself also, I what I do is I finish one chapter, I move on to the next. I go back to that completed chapter 2 days after I have
Yes.
completed two
Yes.
or three more
After
chapters.
sleeping over it for a few
Yes,
days, you go back.
yes.
Okay. I think it's really nice, and I'm really happy today to have this discussion with you. And I think I'm gonna come to you next for my first three chapters. Like, you need to review it once
I
and
will
give
be
your
happy
feedback.
to help you.
Yeah.
Before we end today's, this has been a very interesting and informative session for both of us, I think, and whoever was listening. And I want to end the session on a very fun note. So I have a few rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So for first question is reading or writing?
I think writing, whatever the emotions that are bottled up in me, I think I can get through the words out and they're out there, and I'm free mentally. So I think reading is a guilty pleasure. I read every day, at least a few pages, and I think I'm currently reading 10 novels together. But
Oh
then
wow.
reading is really a guilty pleasure. But writing is like a dupe. Like, I have to write to get that thing out of my system. So writing any day.
Okay. A goody two shoes character or a character with gray shades?
Like I said earlier, also, I like people who have flaws, who are vulnerable, confident, and lovable, adorable. So I think a flawed characters relate more with the people because we all are like that at some level. You will only find goody people in some movies, Suraj Barjatia movies, and they don't really exist, and there is no fun being really good. So I think I like flawed characters. The need,
Okay.
the passion, yeah. So
Yes.
I'll go with that.
Okay. Yeah. So a quirk or a habit of yours which not many people know about.
So there is this thing with me, like after a few days when I'm too overwhelmed with everything, with my job, with my responsibilities, I go totally incognito. So I'll deliberately leave my phone at home and just go out. I'll attend my office and I'll roam around and come back and totally go untraceable. So I think that is
Okay.
one habit, and people tell me, how can you leave your phone behind? It's like oxygen nowadays. So obviously in work from home scenario, I can't do that. It has to be there because we are responsible for our work too. But then otherwise, I have this habit to go incognito.
Hmm. Okay. That's actually a good habit.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the character of Meera and her not using a smartphone and dealing with her problems, facing them and then coming out of them, I think that was work with like that. Yeah. So I think that habit and that I would want to live someday when I'm not bothered with the pings and notifications. So I think my quirk was added in that character as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is very, interesting. I want you to come up with a pen name, but it has to be the combination of The last food item that you ate and an adjective which defines you.
Okay, so in the evening I had bhel puri, and I think people describe me as being emotional. So I think I'm an emotional bhel puri, a sensitive soul. And I think I take this from my father. He was an emotional person. He used to always narrate the story with all the warmth and liveliness, as if you are there in that picture on the Dadar station, seeing that happening. So I think I got that quality from my father. And like in my book also, like I said, my character Meera, she had lost her father. I recently lost my father. So I think whatever I write is a lot related to the experiences that I have undergone personally over the years, and you can call it fiction. Obviously, there is a story which is fictional, but more of the traits for every character, the situation, the circumstances are all very relatable. It comes from my life. So
Emotional Bhelpuri is a very interesting pen name, by the way. You should think about it.
I should start an Insta page with emotional Bhelpuri and then get overwhelmed posting everything on it.
Yes. Okay, so now the last and the most interesting question. Imagine that we are playing the very popular game of Never Have I Ever. Tell us two things
Yeah.
that you are never likely to drink on.
I think there are no two things. There is one thing that I will never put into my system, and I think that's bhang. So there is a story, and I will include it in one of my books later. That I had bhang someday, and during the Holi festival, and I totally lost control, and I was giving signals to my brain, and my body could not do it, like pick up a pen or pick up water to drink. So I was in a delusion state totally. So I think I would never want to be in that state or experience those things again, ever. So I think never would I touch bhang or drink it or have it in my system.
Okay, so that brings me to the end of my rapid fire questions.
I
It's
have
your
a few
turn to
rapid
choose.
fire
Yes.
questions for you too, and you have to be really honest when you say the
Yes.
answers. You cannot
Yes.
give me
Yes. I will.
answers which are not straight to the point. So,
I will.
who do you think
Yeah.
is the
Okay.
most overrated author?
Paulo Coelho. I think he's very overrated. I did not enjoy Alchemist. I tried reading a few of his other books, but it went above my head. All of
Yeah,
them.
and any Indian author?
So he's very popular, and I particularly also have enjoyed a few of his books. But I think Chetan Bhagat is becoming very overrated now.
Predictable, yeah,
Yeah,
predictable.
yeah,
Storylines are becoming predictable.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you on that. And okay, so if you have a choice to read or write in the genre, what would you choose, romance or suspense?
Okay, so I think I have already answered that. So I'm going to say read romance and write suspense.
Yes. I think romance stories could also have a mystery attached to it, and the combination of it makes adds the charm. So
Mm,
I think
mm. Yeah.
that is important. So, given a choice, like you're free, you have no duties to do, your work is completed, what would you do? You would go Netflix, or you would go read books?
That depends actually on two things. On only one thing. If I'm alone, I would read. But if there are people with me, I would watch Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So, which is the series right now you're binge watching?
So I am currently watching a series on Netflix called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and it's really funny. I mean it's an old series. I think it
Uh,
ended in 2019, but we just
okay.
started watching it,
Yeah,
and I'm amazed by the creativity. I mean, the
yeah,
writers have done an amazing.
yeah. Nice. And I'll repeat the same question since it was too interesting. Never have I ever. Tell us two things that you are never gonna do.
Okay, so if you are playing the game, never have I ever, and two things that I'm not likely to drink on ever is probably killing someone. Never have I tried killing someone. That's one thing that's not never going to happen. And second thing would probably be never have I ever. I think I wouldn't voluntarily do something risky like probably scuba diving or bungee jumping. I wouldn't voluntarily
On that
go.
note, I would like to add I have done scuba diving and it's worth the experience. So I think you should do scuba diving. Bungee jumping, I personally would not do either, but scuba diving is something you should experience.
I have done skydiving and I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad I have at least got off one fear of heights.
Yeah,
Scuba diving I have done, but it's not, scuba diving the traditional thing because I did it on a scooter and I had that,
okay.
mask over me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was not actually scuba diving. I would like to try it someday. Maybe a few years down the line. Gather up.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was about it. I can't believe we still have a few more viewers after our, initial glitch and our long rants about writing. Thank you all for
Yes.
staying with us.
Yes, it was
I had
really a nice
fun.
session. I had my own doubts whether this is something I would want to do because, like I said, I still consider myself an aspiring author, just starting the journey off. So, giving words of wisdom to people who want to become a writer is something never occurred to me. But then, as you said, this is more about sharing experiences and helping each other, and the community is there to help you. So there are several communities that I have joined that every writer should join and gain perspective into how to go about it. So I think this has been a fruitful session. Thank you for pushing me and asking me and making me agree to do this. And I think I'm really happy doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I am also very happy that you agreed to me doing it and you stayed it by it, despite my pushing you so much. I was, understanding a little bit that you're not very comfortable, but I am proud of myself to to having, stayed on the path and continued asking you.
Yeah.
I think we
So
both
yeah,
had
that
fun.
also explains one thing about you that you have a lot of perseverance as a person and you
Thank
would
you.
go
Yes,
to no
I don't
extent.
give up easily.
Yeah.
So this was really fun. Thank you everyone for joining us and thank you for listening to us.
Thank you, Manali. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
On my IGTV and also on my YouTube channel. So those of you who have missed watching the entire video can go back and watch it again. Thank you everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye Namita.
Bye. Have a great weekend.